Okay, Stalker Pro 2 for dynamic soaring. These are the settings we're typically using. When you turn it on, it's ready to go. We use the ball setting for dynamic soaring and leave the peak button pressed so it captures the peak speed for each pass. There's 2 layers of menus in here. To enter the first layer, you just press the menu button, and then you press it again to toggle through each of the 4 or 5 pages that it has. The first one is range. Number 4 is the highest range, so that's what you want. The direction inbound is really all we ever measure is when the plane's coming at us, so you can also change that to both directions or outbound only, but we leave it on inbound. Hit, that's a baseball thing for that we don't use, so that stays off. And the light I keep off to make the battery last longer. And bat window just tells you if you're charging. If you have the charger cable plugged in, it'll say charging, and then when it's done charging, it'll say charged. So that's that for that one. Now to enter the second level of menus, where you can adjust a lot more settings, you press and hold the menu button. Here you've got the low filter, so anything below 83 miles per hour it will disregard, and to change that number you just hit the select button, but it only goes in one direction, so it takes a while to go all the way around the horn to get it back, so I'm not going to show you that. The next one is the high filter, so anything above 651 miles per hour it will disregard. You want to set those 2 reasonably, so you filter out noise that may interfere with your readings. Miles per hour is the units that we have. You can change that to metric if you like, using the select button. The ones, that's the resolution that it's going to display the speed at. We don't go decimal on that. Target is ball, like I mentioned before. Clear, that's how long it will pause before it looks for another peak speed when you have the peak speed mode set. 1 second, we're never doing less than 1 second circuits, so that's safe. Trigger continuous, that's if you squeeze the trigger, it'll continuously emit radar. And aux off, these are all, the cosine angle is for it's for use with cops with their radaring cars that are coming at them from a known angle. This will automatically adjust for the cosine loss. Make sure that's set at 0, since we're always aiming the gun directly at the plane. This is all to do with output if you're connected to a computer, so it doesn't really matter what your settings are here, but these are what we keep typically. And then you're back to the low menu. To exit the menu, either menu, you just squeeze the trigger and it goes back to normal operation mode. With the transmit button, you can press that, and if it says XMIT in the lower left corner, it's constantly emitting radar. It's probably the easiest way to use the gun, but it does chew up the battery faster, so I tend to leave it off, and just that way it only comes on when the trigger is pressed. So that'll make your battery last all day. The last thing is the recall button. If I had some speeds in here, which I don't, you press the recall button, just press it once, and it'll enter the recall mode, and you can toggle through the last 10 readings if I had them in there. Or you can press and hold the recall button, and that will show you the highest speed that the gun captured for this, since it was turned on. So between pilots, we always press and hold the recall button, note the highest speed, and then turn the gun off, and then turn it back on, and you're ready to go for the next pilot. I don't always trust this number so much when you use the recall feature, because if you did have a erroneous read, like from some interference, some signal out there, sometimes we get some wacky 630 mile an hour readings, especially at Parker Mountain. And so I don't really trust that unless it goes along with everything that I remember seeing while I was radaring that session. So anyway, that's it for the Stalker Pro 2. GoPro, stop recording.